This just in, if you go to school, you have a better chance of learning.
The Dan Yorke State of Mind program is brought to you in part by Lookout Rhode Island and Takeo Comfort Solutions.
It's like, oh, I could have had a V8. You send your kids to school, they have a better chance to actually understand what's happening there. And I cannot believe that we are in a space where government officials have to sell to you the idea that your kids need to be in school. Now, you could be looking at this show saying, well, I don't have kids anymore. Well, my kids are grown. That's a different way of saying it. But I have to tell you something. I went to Disney last week. That's why you saw a repeat. The internal family timing as to why I don't have any school-age children anymore. I have a child who now is a professional in the school system. But I will tell you that it used to be that Magic Kingdom was crowded on school vacation weeks. Now Magic Kingdom is crowded on non-school vacation weeks because parents have just decided, you know what? I'm tired of dragging my kids to Magic Kingdom on school vacation weeks. So I'll take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days away from school or whatever they're doing. There was no absence. Now, Veterans Day, of course, Veterans Day is not necessarily observed as to its special meaning. It's just a day off for a lot of people. And so maybe that was an advantage to some folks in taking the day off. But I saw as many strollers, the preschoolers, as many first, second, third, fifth, seventh, 10th graders as I've seen at any other visit to Magic Kingdom. And I'm just confused. I wanted to stop like every seventh person and say, by the way, you know your kid's supposed to be in school. Anyway, enough preaching. The McKee administration is, I guess, correctly mounting a campaign here to be in school. They had a presentation on that last week. There's the headline, and here's how that press conference went.
These Stephen-only elementary school students in North Providence were selected to attend a special assembly with state leaders because of their great attendance at school.
We also have about 130 students with perfect attendance.
It's not the same story for every school or school district. Brown University's Annenberg Institute released a report showing the number of elementary school students who missed at least 18 days of school or more doubled from just 13% before the pandemic to 31% in 2022. Missing 18 days or 10% of the year means you're chronically absent.
It has an impact on the students' learning. It has an impact on the ability of what the teacher can do in the classroom.
A new campaign launched Thursday called Attendance Matters RI aims to inform families, community leaders, and small businesses about the importance of daily attendance and the consequences of chronic absenteeism.
And it cannot be left to the superintendents, principals, and teachers. It has to be an all-state approach.
RIDE created several community dashboards, which shows not just where students go to school, but absentee rates down to the neighborhood level and how they compare to statewide test scores.
If the municipality wants to know the areas where students come from, where there's chronic absenteeism, they will know. If there's an organization, if there's a church in that community, look at the data. Let's talk about it.
Fascinating. Jeremy Chiappetta is the senior advisor to Governor McKee for
all the things.
Everything.
All the things.
All things.
Yes.
Education.
Absolutely.
Especially 365. Welcome. Glad to have you aboard.
Thank you.
And I'm so excited that the governor decided to bring you on board. I know you were working for a nonprofit that was helping to kind of support the 365 RI program.
That's right.
And he has wisely moved you into the office to, I think, run the 365 program, correct, from an administrative point of view.
Supporting mayors across the state.
Yeah, and then of course, you know, anything else that you can support inside. Of course, we have an ed commissioner that the governor is completely bullish on. We just saw the commissioner there, and your lane is there to do what? Support that effort from the commissioner's office and ride?
So supporting the governor and his entire team, his entire cabinet, in every area that's most helpful. So a lot of it, but not all of it, is Learn 365 RI. It's also helping out with higher ed. It's helping out with the pre-K to 12 program, and supporting other duties as assigned.
All right. So the 365 RI program is something that the governor's office has begun. It's a brainstorm of the governor himself. He's very hands-on when it comes to this particular matter. We've got a headline on that we can share. In fact, we'll park that for just a second. But just to remind everybody about Jeremy's background, the dream with the mayoral academies is now what, 10, 12 years ago when we first began talking about the mayoral academies and your role as, what's the term? Wasn't principal.
Well, I was the first principal, first head of school.
Head of school at Blackstone Valley Prep.
Yes.
Where you really, brought your expertise and performed at a level that, made that whole dream of political leaders, including Dan McKee, a major success. I mean, in fact, Blackstone Valley Prep, you must take great satisfaction from really what was a rubbing sticks together project, right, to what now is a manifest of kids, going to Princeton and Ivy League schools all across the place, right?
Incredibly proud, and it only happens because you have great leadership, you have great vision in terms of the governor bringing together at the time mayors to go all in on this community, and then ultimately hiring great teachers, right? At the end of the day, when you have great teachers in classrooms with kids doing their magic, great things happen.
Culture differences. Remind everybody what the culture.
So it's all about high expectations, right? So
language, I thought, was a really important part of it. How you treated people and what you called them.
We referred to the graduates by their college graduation year. So our founding kindergartners back in 2009, we referred to then as the college class of 2026. And every classroom was named for the alma mater of their teacher, or maybe one of the teacher's friends, because we had a bunch of folks from URI and Rhode Island College. So you'd fight over classroom names. But every classroom named for a college, and the students themselves we referred to as scholars, to really elevate the expectation.
I didn't think that was insignificant.
No, every element matters. And you need to be strategic in your language, you need to be strategic in your hiring, you need to be strategic in your curriculum.
It has always been uncomfortable for the public school system to deal with the charter schools. And of course, they're charter schools, folks. And by the way, charter schools are public schools. They are paid for by tax dollars, different than the private schools that exist, say the Catholic schools, that kind of thing. There are different kinds of charter schools. The mayoral academy model that you thrived in, and all those kids have thrived in, was not welcome by the mainstream school systems. My own hometown of Cumberland that feeds Blackstone Valley Prep, along with Pawtucket and Central Falls, correct, and Lincoln. Yep. They've chronically pushed back on it, but while they've pushed back on it, they improved.
Yeah.
So why? And they're still to this day. I'm reading, the Valley Breeze and the movement to grab kids back, and of course we've got a little bit of a underpopulation right now, so everything kind of matters, right? Seats matter in which district. But while they've complained, to their credit, they have performed.
Absolutely. And if
in a competitive mindset.
I think that's probably among the many factors that have driven improving results in the community.
What are the factors?
I think great teachers. Frankly, I think great teachers
on both sides.
On all sides. And I think when great teachers are challenged, they rise to it in the same way that great teachers challenge their kids to rise to it.
Would you promoted cooperation across the districts?
Absolutely. Yeah, we were successful in raising philanthropic dollars both locally and nationally, whether it was Rhode Island Foundation or Gates Foundation, making significant investments to bring the adults together to support kids I was on the show a few years back with Dr. Frangallo, and
Right.
and she had the foresight to say, this is not about district or charter. This is about kids getting a great education.
She was the superintendent of Central Falls, folks, and one who took no guff. Anyway, all of that experience that you brought in and that you've earned there caused the governor to tap you as this special advisor on education. Why don't we do this? When we come back, we'll talk about this attendance thing, which is, does it really need to be said? We'll be right back. Right there that talks about the interest and the answers and the projections that the general public has about school attendance. Do we have the commissioner's audio first, if we could play that, because it kind of feeds my question.
This data makes it clear that there's a correlation between attendance and student performance.
The studio looked
If
at
the
a
kids are
page
not
there
in
for a
school,
second there.
the curriculum won't matter because they're not reaping the benefits of it.
You know, I got to tell you, Jeremy, that is, if that isn't a DUH, I don't know what is. Are you kidding me? That the commissioner's got to actually spoon feed that to the public? That the administration has to do that? That you're going to have to do that?
Look, it's critical. Every day matters. Attendance matters, and what we are seeing when we surveyed families through the Survey Works annual survey, 30,000 plus family members responded, and barely half, 55%, said that missing 2 days of school a month matters a lot, which means 45% aren't there yet. 45% of the state of Rhode Island doesn't acknowledge that chronic absenteeism is critical.
So as the screen is already up there, let me just walk through this. It's still hard to read unless you got a really big screen. How did family members respond to each question? The question, how much do you think missing at least 2 days of school a month impacts a student's chance of graduating high school? Not at all, top line, 10%, a little bit, 12%, somewhat, 22%. So in that category, you get 22 and you get 44% suggesting that it's like, yeah, no, not the big a deal. Quite a bit was 32% and a tremendous amount, 23%. So again, your number, 53% said, yeah, we get that it matters. But now nearly half of the parents that respond to this thing are discounting the loss of a couple of days.
4 times more likely not to read at grade level by 3rd grade. 7 times more likely
Slow
not to
down.
graduate
Say that
high
again.
school. If you are chronically absent starting in kindergarten, you are 4 times more likely not to be reading at grade level by 3rd grade.
Chronically absent
2 days
defined as?
10% of the school year. 2 days a month, 18 days. 18 days a year. 2 days a month. We have to change people's understanding of how much it matters. 7 times more likely to be a high school dropout when you're chronically absent. 7 times more likely than if you are in school all the time. We've got to address this. We've got to face this, and then celebrate successes.
You know what? Come on, a couple of days here and there. Let's couple the Veterans Day off with a trip to Disney. Seriously, I was there last week. I could not believe. I agreed to take this family trip, thinking in November this is going to be a piece of cake. Sell out at Disney something like 80,000. If there weren't 82,000 people there, you know. And by the way, why by 5 o'clock does everybody look like they're in agony as they're pushing their kids all around Disney? It's kind of, you know, and parents are kind of at each other, and the kids are screaming, and the whole thing. Anyway, that's a whole
I'm a
other
parent.
conversation.
I've got 3 kids, and I can appreciate taking a moment here or there for family time. That matters. That's important. However, we're talking about 18 days, over 3 weeks of school lost learning, and 30+% of Rhode Islanders last year in our schools were chronically absent. We have to do better, because you're missing out. You're missing out on learning. You're missing out on socialization opportunities. You're missing out on clubs, activities, opportunities to meet mentors and make a plan for your life. And here's the reality, right? When our kids are in school, they're achieving at much higher levels. And what does that mean? That's money.
What do you think have we? I don't know that we polled this kind of question 20, 30 years ago, right? So do you think we've grown into this malaise, or that it's always been there?
So pre-pandemic, we had in Rhode Island and the country, frankly, an attendance issue. The pandemic has exacerbated it. And that is why coming out of the pandemic, we are talking about this nonstop as a country, as a region, and as a state.
Exacerbated it because people saw that online learning only took an hour or two. The kid could go out and play in the backyard or on the street and not worry about it, even if they did pay attention, never mind the kids that didn't, da-da-da. So missing a day or two or 3 or 4 doesn't really matter, because we saw the evidence in our minds that it really didn't matter that much.
Well, we also saw evidence that kids lost a ton of ground.
Right.
They lost a ton of ground during that time, right? So the evidence says attendance actually really, really mattered, and online learning, while working for some, isn't the panacea we hoped it would be. What we also learned is that when you tell families to stay home because you have the sniffles, because if you come to school, you might infect your teacher, and you might cause great chaos in people's lives because of a fear of COVID, that impacted people.
Was that a bad message?
I think it was the message that was based on the best information we had at the time. I delivered that message myself. I said, hey, don't come to school if you think you might have a symptom.
It may be coming back to the old days. You know, my daughter works in a public elementary school, and she is a walking petri dish.
Yeah.
And guess what? When she's around, Dad picks it up.
Yeah, I believe it.
I mean, so, no, seriously. You know, it used to be kind of a tongue-in-cheek, but not really the joke, that teachers were the most immune species on the planet after a month in school, because they had to be, right?
Yeah.
So what are you saying? If you got just the sniffles, get your kid to school.
So what I'm saying is we swung a pendulum of, for a long period of time, we said get to school every day. Then COVID happened. We shut down our entire world for a period of time. And as we came out of that shutdown, we were very tepid. We told people, hey, stay home. You know, it's better to be home. And now that we're past that, we're trying to say to people, okay, it's time to come back. And it's important for families to know, yeah, if you have a fever of 101, stay home. But, you know, if your belly hurts a little bit, you need to get to school, right? And those are nuanced differences. And
we're seeing this across the board in all socioeconomic categories?
Yes. Yes, we are. We're seeing it in all of our school
East
systems.
Greenwich, Barrington.
Everyone was at record chronic absenteeism and record absenteeism. The reality is, like too many things, the urban systems are slowest to recover. Hardest hit, slowest to recover. But everyone, Cumberland, Lincoln, Block Island, Newport, Woonsocket, everyone was hit hard. And the learning losses are real across the board as well.
So you're activating the mayors. I mean, that press conference that happened in North Providence, the mayor was speaking to the issue and had a robocall that he was producing.
It's great.
You're asking for that, and this is the McKee thought process. We only have a few minutes to. Actually, you know, we should come back and talk about this, because 365 kind of melds into this. That this is more than just the school committee and the school system right now. Stay with us. So this concept, Learn 365 RI, is the brainstorm of the governor himself. And look, he's got a track record. He built a mayoral after-school operation in Cumberland. I never can remember the name of it. The Youth and Families, or the Youth.
The OCYL, the Office of Children and Youth Learning.
Yeah, whatever. It's not DCYF. It's blah blah. And that was problematic. You know, it was politically challenging, but there's so many kids have gone through that and felt, you know, an opportunity to tutor or X number of things, activity. That's kind of the model, although municipalities can do their own thing under this 365 plan. We should be doing an entire 10 shows on this, but your advisement now to the governor, I'm sure, is laser focused on being able to manage and maintain and hold accountable these communities who are joining this program, if I had to in a minute ask you what is 365 RI, it would be?
It would be, we have 2030 goals to raise incomes, improve educational outcomes, help Rhode Islanders live healthy lives. Learn 365 RI is an umbrella to bring the education piece all together, to invite into this philosophical message of all kids can achieve at really high levels, to bring in community leaders especially, schools, families, all driving to achieve greatness.
A lot of the time spent and the money spent is outside the school day.
Yes.
Which makes the school systems kind of bristle, yet almost every town but one or two at this point, Johnston and...
38 of 39 are committed.
All right, so Johnston is the only community, congratulations, Mayor, the only community that's not participating. It seems like on the ground there's a recognition. What's important now is that the entire state understand what the mission is.
Well, I think first and foremost, it's important to remember this governor with the speaker and Senate president have made historic investments in the school day. Tens of millions more dollars are flowing into our schools right now. So that's happening. And then in addition to that, the governor recognizes, because he hears it all the time, schools can't do it on their own, right? There is so much going on right now in kids' lives that you need everyone. So let's get the mayors and town administrators and town managers on board. I was in a meeting with the governor and clerical leaders from across the state, rabbis, priests, ministers. We met with the bishop of the Diocese of Providence, all talking about how we can all row together, supporting our teachers, supporting our school leaders. That's what this is about. It is about a whole statewide, every community approach.
All right. Senior Advisor to the McKee Administration for Education, Jeremy Chiappetta. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Final word and we come back. So it used to be you'd be in a supermarket and something was bothering you about the school system and you'd see the mayor there at the vegetable stand and you would say to the mayor, hey mayor, you know what's going on with the schools? And the mayor would say to you, well, honestly, I don't have any role in that. That's the school system. That culture is changing. That culture is changing. And it has to change, because if it doesn't, status quo, man. Have a great week. Talk to you next week. Thanks.